The world stood still for a moment, as millions of people from all corners of the globe gathered in St. Peter's Square, their eyes glued to the grand balcony. The air was thick with anticipation, and it felt like history was holding its breath. Pope Francis had just passed away, and now the Catholic Church was at a crossroads. What would happen next? The moment everyone had been waiting for had arrived. Inside the Vatican, the College of Cardinals, the group of high-ranking church leaders, had been in deep prayer and discussion, choosing who would take up the mantle of leading the Catholic Church. As the days of silence and waiting passed, the excitement in the air grew to a fever pitch. Then a puff of white smoke rose from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, a moment of pure magic. It was the sign the world had been waiting for. White. Smoke meant a new pope had been chosen. The crowd erupted in joy and wonder. People whispered the famous words, "Habemus Papam," which means, "We have a pope." The door to the balcony opened, and the people saw him for the first time. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a man from the Philippines, the first ever pope from Asia. The crowd roared with excitement and clapped, cheering for this historic moment. For Asia, this was a moment of pure joy. From the bustling streets of Manila to the peaceful temples of Bhutan, the news spread like wildfire. People could hardly believe it. The first Asian pope. It felt too good to be true. In the Philippines, where Tagle grew up, it was a celebration like no other. Church bells rang out and fireworks lit up the sky. The streets were filled with music, laughter, and dancing. The whole country was buzzing with pride. From the smallest village to the largest city, every Filipino was united in this special moment. But the celebration didn't stop at the Philippines. Across Asia, from Mumbai to Tokyo, the happiness spread. In Mumbai, the smell of incense filled the air, and drums beat in the background as people danced in the streets. In Bangkok, glowing lanterns floated into the sky, casting a warm glow over the crowd below. In Seoul, the streets were packed with people all smiling, all sharing in the joy of this monumental moment. It wasn't just Catholics celebrating. People from all religions joined in, proud of the fact that an Asian man had been chosen to lead the Catholic Church. It was a moment that brought people of all beliefs together, uniting them in celebration of something bigger than religion. It was about hope and unity. This was a shining example of Asia's strength and pride. People from different cultures, religions and backgrounds joined together to celebrate this historic day. And it wasn't just in Asia. The whole world was watching. Leaders from all over the globe, from Washington to Moscow to Beijing, sent their congratulations. They knew that the new Pope's voice would carry weight, not just for Catholics, but for all of humanity. Even leaders of other religions sent warm messages of support, hoping that the new Pope would lead the world towards peace and kindness. Now, Cardinal Tagle had a big job ahead of him. He wasn't just stepping into the shoes of a Pope. He was stepping into a time of great change. The Catholic Church faced challenges like never before. Abuse scandals, fewer people attending, Mass, and the growing number of people who don't believe in religion at all were just some of the obstacles he would need to tackle. The world was looking for a leader who could bring hope in a time of division and struggle, and it was clear that this new Pope, whoever he was, had the potential to make a real difference. As the new Pope appeared on the balcony and spoke his first words, the crowd listened intently. His message was clear: humility, kindness, and a commitment to addressing the big problems we face today. People couldn't help but wonder, would he stand up for the poor and forgotten? Would he push for fairness and equality? People eagerly awaited his next steps. They were watching closely, ready to see if he would live up to the high expectations set for him. The challenges ahead for the new Pope were immense. The world was in turmoil, from climate change to poverty, from wars to political divides. The world needed a leader who could unite people, who could speak with a strong moral compass and work towards solving the world's biggest issues. If he was able to lead the Catholic Church and the world towards peace, fairness, and kindness, he could inspire millions to join him in making the world a better place. It was a tall order, but the new Pope had a unique opportunity to rise to the occasion. One thing was clear: the world was ready for change. People were looking for a leader who could offer hope and guidance in these turbulent times. And Cardinal Tagle's journey, from the slums of Manila to the Vatican, was a testament to his resilience and faith. His life story was one of overcoming adversity, of believing in better days even when the odds seemed stacked against him. It was a story that resonated with people all over the world. His appointment as Pope marked the beginning of a new chapter for the Catholic Church. It was a time of hope, a time for change, a time to bring people together. His message was one of kindness, love, and unity, values that resonated not just with Catholics, but with people of all faiths and backgrounds. As the world watched, the new Pope had the chance to create a legacy based on these values, leaving an indelible mark on the Church and the world. His actions and words would shape the future of the Catholic Church. Would he stand firm in his commitment to the poor? Would he continue to push for unity among different faiths and communities? Only time would tell. But for now, the world waited with hope and excitement, eager to see where this new Pope would lead. And one thing was for sure, his journey as Pope was just beginning. The Church, which had experienced its fair share of scandals and challenges in recent decades, needed someone who could restore trust and reignite the fire of faith in the hearts of millions. The new Pope was seen as the right person to bring a fresh perspective to the Catholic faith, one that emphasized compassion, inclusivity, and outreach to the poor. His first speeches and actions were all focused on building a sense of unity and care for the vulnerable. He promised to focus on the poor and marginalized, the forgotten souls of the world who often went unnoticed by society. But his challenges went beyond the Church's internal issues. The world outside was in a state of turmoil, grappling with climate change, rising inequality, global conflicts, and social divides. Could the Catholic Church, under his leadership, be a voice for unity and peace in such a fragmented world? That was the burning question on everyone's mind. People were watching closely, not just to see what he would say, but to see what he would do. Would he take bold action on global issues like climate change, poverty, and injustice? Would he push for greater interfaith dialogue, bringing different religions together to work for peace and common good? It became evident early on that the new Pope had big plans for making the Church more active and relevant in today's world. His approach was not about grand speeches or lofty promises. It was about showing up and doing the hard work. Whether it was visiting impoverished neighborhoods, meeting with refugees, or working to build bridges between different religious groups, the new Pope was always on the move, always taking action. His presence was calming, his words inspiring. There was a quiet strength about him, one that wasn't about commanding attention, but about leading by example. One of the most striking aspects of his leadership was his openness to dialogue. In a world where people seem to be growing more divided every day, the new Pope's willingness to engage with people from all backgrounds, faiths, and ideologies was a refreshing change. He didn't shy away from difficult conversations. Instead, he leaned into them. Whether meeting with leaders of other religions or addressing issues of social justice, he made it clear that the only way forward was together, with mutual respect and understanding. In doing so, he set an example not just for Catholics but for everyone around the world who sought peace and cooperation. The new Pope's leadership was also marked by a call for change within the Church itself. The Catholic Church had long been criticized for its handling of abuse scandals, and many believed it was time for deep, structural